Thank you very much. And we now proceed to Congressman Mike Coffman of Colorado.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for inviting me to this important hearing today on the current and future recruiting challenges of our armed services. As an Army and as a Marine Corps combat veteran, I'm proud of the extraordinary current level of talent in the armed services that has developed under the all-volunteer military that we have today. However, I'm worried that the future pool of recruits may not be able to maintain the elite standards that we've established. Factors such as an improving economy, cultural changes in how a generation views military service, or when our nation is engaged in conflicts that quite frankly may lack popular support. All these factors could contribute to the number of qualified applicants applying to be in our military. One of the more distressing issues that has been brought up here today is the shrinking pool of eligible enlistees. Less than 30% of eligible 17 to 25-year-olds qualify for military service, according to a 2009 mission readiness study. Although the force is shrinking as you move from a wartime posture, as members of this committee, as a House committee, and for the members of this subcommittee, I think we must always plan to have the deepest pool of eligible and qualified recruits possible to ensure we are ready to meet all and future challenges. Therefore, the question we have to ask is how to maintain standards while choosing from a decreasing pool of recruits. Of course, one answer is to widen the pool of potential recruits. For this reason, I introduced legislation that would widen the enlistment statute, Section 504 of the U.S. Code, to allow not only natural-born citizens and legal permanent residents to enlist, but also temporary visa holders and individuals approved under the Deferred Action Childhood Arrivals, or DACA program, which is administered by DHS. Including this group of potential applicants will broaden our enlistment pool in preparation for any future engagements, help recruiters maintain high standards, allow the processing of fewer waiver requests, and minimize the need for bonuses and other financial incentives for enlistment. And I work closely with experts in the field of immigration and military law to develop a proposal that works both as an immigration and as a military enlistment measure. At this time, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to submit a letter written by one such expert, retired Lieutenant Colonel Margaret Stock, into the record, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
This paper details the reasons why the current enlistment statute is flawed and why H.R. 435 provides the best remedy. Again, Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing me to be here today. Ms. Penrod, on a related question, prior to the enactment of the current consolidated enlistment statute as Section 504 in 2006, there were no statutory limitations on wartime recruitment of individuals regardless of immigration status. In 2006, the Pentagon asked Congress to limit enlistment of persons without green cards. So today, a person who is not a U.S. national or green card holder cannot enlist unless he or she is, quote unquote, vital to the national interest. Why was the statute amended in 2006 when the effect would be to limit the military manpower pool in wartime? Have there been any internal discussions to alter the current statute by implementing the changes sought by H.R. 435?
Congressman, I'm not aware of why the change. I will need to get back to you on that particular issue. Although the Department's policy is not to comment on pending legislation, I will say that the Department of Defense has long supported the DREAM Act and its tenets, which would provide a path of citizenship through military service for undocumented aliens who entered the country before age 16. We do believe it's important to expand the pool of eligible youth, and the one issue that we would be problematic is if the department were asked to determine the immigration status of the individual. But we do support expanding the pool.
Okay. What is DOD's policy or regulation with regard to the enlistment of American citizens or legal immigrants who have family members who are not authorized to be in the United States?
Well, the department currently does not have a policy on undocumented family members. That issue has been brought to our attention when the Department of Homeland Security standardized the parole in place policy. Because of that, we formed a working group of the services. We're working across agencies with the Department of Homeland Security to look at what are some of the issues with regard to that population. For example, security, clearances, obtaining ID cards. And as we work through that process, we'll be more than happy to come over here and report on that status.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.